Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make my filler flower 2, which is this round rose. The largest size is going to be an 8-inch wide rose. So let's get started. You're going to need 6 cuts of my template and a regular size glue stick. So for the first petal, you're going to curl one side in, all the way around. So for this part, it doesn't matter which way you want to curl in first. It's just dependent on how you want the rose to, which way you want the rose to spiral. If you're gonna curl it the other way, then if you're going to curl it the other way, then when you assemble, it's just going to be opposite of what I'm doing here. So I just flipped it around and curling the back side. So that the top side's in and the back side goes down. You're gonna set this aside. Then for the next 6 petals, you're just going to curl both sides the same way. So both sides should be curled the same way. I went ahead and already curled the rest of my petals. So I'm going to start with this piece first, where both sides are curled the same way. I'm going to fold each petal in, as this will create the bud. I'm going to grab 2 petals opposite of each other, then get into the center, like so, and then glue the flap down. Going to do the same thing on the other side. And now this part, since I curled the top part upwards, I'm going to have the top part of these 3 petals on the inside. So it's going to look like this. Now this part is a bit hard, but you just want to make sure that it's in. I'm going to glue the flap and then hold it down. Just slightly so that there's a gap in the middle. Going to do the same on this side. The next one. And then on the last one. On this part, you can have the gap to be larger or smaller, it's up to you. It'll just make the rose look a little bit different. Now for the first petal, or the second petal now, that with one side curled up and one side curled down, we're going to glue the bud onto it. So I like to glue facing the bottom, and then I'm just going to align the petal with the previous petals and center it as best as possible. And then push it down to place. Going to look like this. I'm just going to choose one petal to start with. I'm only gluing the top side. I'm going to put my fingers under and one in the middle, and I'm going to pinch it upwards, like so. Should look like this. Now for the next one, I'm going to glue both sides. Once again, I'm going to pinch it towards the middle and hold it in place. And I'm going to do this once again, all the way around until we get to the last petal. Now for this last petal, we're going to tuck it under the first petal and then glue it down. We're going to place glue on the bottom of that first petal, and then we're going to also glue that part down. So it's going to look something like this. All you have to do is curl the petals a little bit more with your hands. Just a little bit of pressure. And it'll look something like this. Now we're grabbing the next petal, the third layer, going to have the curls face down. Placing glue on the bottom, and now I'm going to glue it to fill this little gap here. So the petal should fit in between the middle of that gap, like so. Just putting a bit of pressure on that. Once again, I'm choosing a petal, doesn't matter which one you start with. You only glue the top half of one side. I'm going to pinch it inwards, hold it in place. Make sure there's a bit of a gap between these two layers. And now I'm going on to the second petal. Going to pinch it up again. And you're just going to repeat this all the way around until you get to the last petal. Now with this last petal, I'm just going to tuck it under the first petal once again and hold it there, and then glue the first petal down. Now it's gonna look like this. Now we're going to the fourth layer. Once again, I just place glue along the whole bottom. And now, once again, I want to align the petal to cover this gap. Or to be in the middle of it. Push it down in place. And repeat the same steps. Gluing one side, pinching it up, holding it in place. Even though you don't glue the first petal here, you should pinch it up so that it helps you know where your petal should be. Because if you just were to glue one side, you might not be able to properly glue it when it's pinched. Now for the second and onwards, I'm just gluing both sides of the bottom, pinching it upwards. Just going to repeat this for the next couple of petals. And once again, I'm tucking this petal in under the first petal. And then I'm going to glue the first petal down. That's your fourth layer down. Now we're going on to the fifth layer. Glue on the bottom. Once again, I want to align the petals into the triangle here. Hold it down. I'm just going to repeat the same steps all the way around. But this time, once again, when you pinch it, make sure there's gapping between the previous petals. last petal, I just tucked it under, and now I'm going to glue the last petal down, or the first petal back down. Just holding it in place for a couple seconds. And this is how it looks like with 5 layers. You can stop here or add another layer. I like the rose to look fuller, so I'm going to add the 6th layer. Just aligning it between the triangle. Holding it in place. And since this is the last layer, you can just start by gluing both sides. And pinching it. Make sure there's a gap. And hold it in place. So this last layer might be a bit harder to glue it. So what you can do is hold it for a couple seconds and then stick your finger into the petal and push it so that it adheres tightly to the previous layer. You can do it this, where you hold it like this in the previous layer, put your fingers inside and use both thumbs to push it against each other so that the glue adheres. Just pushing on the bottom here. A couple seconds until you can kind of let go of it. Putting my fingers in there, pushing it tighter. Last petal, and just holding it together. This is how the bottom looks like. All you have to do is add hang tabs or your backing on and it's ready to hang. So here's the roses completed.